How do we discover healing in the midst of chaos? That is our topic today. Welcome to the Art of Tuning In podcast. I'm Maria Furlano. It is great to have you here. I have missed you and I'm so glad to be back. Today, we're going to be talking about chaos and the importance of understanding the frequencies of chaos within your body and how to move through the chaos to create something new. Chaos refers to a primordial state of emptiness, of oneness before creation occurs, which is pretty magnificent. And I know that chaos can feel overwhelming and it can feel like there's no real pattern or path to any direction that's going on. Totally overwhelming. But I want to share with you today a little bit from a different perspective of healing and chaos, of what happens in the body when we're in chaotic energy, what's happening in our growth and expansion when we're in chaotic energy. Just see if I can give you a little bit of a different perspective today to kind of move us through these states that we are experiencing. And we experience chaos at all different times of our life. It doesn't just have to be huge world events that happen, but we experience chaos in our personal relationships, in our work relationships, in our own personal growth, and in our spiritual growth. And what I mean by that is that when we are growing at all, like in any way, shape, or form, including physically, energy must rearrange itself in order to expand. If we're just moving on the same path with everything just going in the same way, it becomes very stagnant, it's very boring, and it's non expansive. So I just want you to get that picture right now. Now, do we want things to be so chaotic that we are completely overwhelmed, depleted, in all these different emotional states? No, we don't. We want to move with chaos in a way where we have fluidity. But in order to have fluidity in chaos, we also have to have a sense of surrender. And that can be the most difficult thing. So I want to just go back into the body for a moment. And you really look at the emotional patterns of the body, meaning, were you depleted? Did you get stressed? Did you get emotionally out of balance? You look at these emotional patterns in the body because they can cause chaos with the way the energy is moving in the body. They can cause depletion when we have depletion, when we have overwhelm, when we give our body toxins that it can't handle well, when we don't get enough sleep. And again, we deprive our body from the energy that it needs. Our physical body goes into a kind of chaos where it must rearrange its energy in order to fight, to prepare, to renew itself to keep you going. And it does this on a daily basis. And the more that we can give our body beautiful love, beautiful nutrition, beautiful rest, beautiful energy to restore it, we really help it along that path so that the body stays in more of a balanced place, a homeostasis place where it can function at an optimal level and keep you going. Okay, so this is really important. So I'm using it as an example of chaos in the body when we need to heal, where energy becomes disorganized in order to reorganize itself again. That's very important. But it's really important to know that if we're dealing with outside chaos, whether we're in a relationship, whether it's something that we're dealing with in our work or our careers or our creativity in the world, whatever it is, something new, something that we're needing to take on in our life, if we are stronger in our physical bodies, we will deal with the chaos always much easier. If we have chaos within ourselves, meaning that our energy isn't strong enough, that we're not healthy enough, that we're not emotionally fortified enough so that we create balance, we will always have a hard time when chaos comes. And chaos can seem much bigger than it actually is. And we can get drawn into things that deplete us even more because we don't have the foundation to keep ourselves stable, to keep ourselves well. When we're not in that place, we get drawn into things because we don't have the healthy boundaries that keep us in alignment with who we are, knowing our own truth, and we get drawn into these things that are going on outside of our life and deplete us even more. This is important because we have control over our energy. And we need to remember that we have control over our energy. And when we're able to align our energy, to fortify our energy, to release what we don't need, we can come into better balance, which gives us a better view on everything that's going on around us, within us. And that's very different than being stuck in the middle of all of these chaotic things, because then we can freeze or we can overreact. And that, of course, just stagnates or depletes our energy even more. And that brings me to surrender. Surrender, letting go, allowing yourself to move into a greater state of flow, which means that you're not trying to control everything, that you're not being triggered by every little thing that's set off. So, all of this, I think, is quite difficult. This letting go part, surrendering, allowing yourself to be in a state of flow, allowing yourself to keep your frequency at a higher vibration so that you are in a greater state of energetic neutral, where you're not being triggered by every single thing that you're observing, hearing, whatever it is, that you're able to observe what's going on in life and not be like a ping pong ball hit all around by what you're observing. You also, when you start to move into a higher and higher vibration, you realize you don't have to engage so much into what is going on. But sometimes we do. We have things that are actively going on right in front of us. And how do we allow that energy to play itself out and look at it as energy that's playing itself out, while we maintain a state of balance, a state of grace, a state of abundance, a state of health, a state of wisdom? That's really the key. So when we're able to allow, let go, and surrender, which I think is not an easy thing to do, but it is a masterful way to maintain your energy. It's a masterful way to engage with what's in front of you, around you. It's also a masterful way to deal with the emotions that are coming up in you. When we're dealing with things that are outside of us, we have the control a lot of time to step back, to disengage, and to move into our own peace. We have that a lot of times, not all the time. When we're dealing with our own emotional state, this is the time when we want to be in where we are. We want to surrender into who and what we are being at that time. A lot of times we don't feel comfortable. We don't feel comfortable if we're not in control. We don't feel comfortable letting go. We don't feel comfortable with the chaos that is arising within us, within our emotional system, within our physical body, definitely within the outside world. We don't feel comfortable. And one of the things about chaos is learning to feel comfortable. I used to really dislike chaos. In fact, I do keep my life as peaceful as I can, because I do like to go deeper within myself into that energetic neutral, so that I can really observe things from a different energetic place than what's right here in front of me. But when emotions surface, when I'm dealing with something in my life that is chaotic, or that is something that is bringing up an emotion in me, fear or overwhelm, or just a feeling of not being in control and what are we going to do, or feeling of anger, feeling of worry, or all of those things, those are energies that you could look at as chaotic energy in your body, but they are not energies that you want to just push away. You want to be in the energy of it. And that's what I'm talking about the surrendering, the letting go, going with the flow, because you'll find that if you're with the energy that you're feeling, because emotion is energy, Emotion is energy in motion. Okay. So when I talk about being with the energy in something, being with the energy of your emotions, it means that your emotions are in you. They're flowing in a certain way. They may feel very heavy. They may feel very light. They might feel really stuck. They might feel sharp. They all have a frequency. They all have a vibration. I'm always talking about frequencies and vibration because when we understand how we are flowing, when we understand what we're feeling, when we understand how we're vibrating and resonating, we then can allow that to heal and we can move into the resonance, the frequency, the vibration that we want to be in. Right. So, as you're feeling something, because if chaos is going out in the world, if you're observing what is going on in the world, and it feels chaotic to you, that energy feels chaotic. And then you take that in, you're still dealing with the emotions that are in your body. If you're dealing with a relationship in your life that is bringing up a lot of stuff and you don't have the control that you would like. So we have this control issue, and that can cause us to feel in different ways emotionally scared, nervous, overwhelmed, angry, all different emotions. And it's going to be totally different for every single person because we all have a different experience in life. We've all had different things that have come up in our life that are now triggering in us those things where we may feel a little deficient in, or we may feel they're unresolved. So as these emotions come up, they create us to feel something. When we feel that emotion and we move into that emotion and we honor how we're feeling, we actually are now in control of our state. We're in control of our energetic state, our emotional state, right? Because remember, energy is emotion, emotion is energy. Instead of pushing it away or trying to feel like, oh, I don't have time for this, or boy, I just feel so overwhelmed and I can't handle this, you go into yourself. A lot of times I'll place my hand on my heart, place my hand on my belly because it just feels nice. It feels warm. It helps me kind of remind myself where my center is, but you don't have to. You can go for a walk. You can jump up and down. You can sing. You can clean your house. You can do whatever makes you feel good as long as you are with your emotion. As long as you are with that state in your body that is vibrating in such a way that you are experiencing something. And as you stay with that emotion and you honor that emotion, the emotion begins to be heard. When we are heard, things relax. The chaos that we're feeling softens. It starts to regulate itself. The other thing that's really important here that people tend to pull away from when they're dealing with their own emotions and they're wanting to heal their own emotions is people will resist chaos. They will resist what's going on because they think that if they don't resist what's going on, that they're in agreement with what's going on. When you're working with your body in healing, and when you're working with your body in manifesting new energy in your life, resistance causes you to push back and causes you to drain your energy. When you're working with bringing in new energy, with bringing in new creative ideas, with maintaining your energy so that you're not depleted, you want to allow the resistance to relax. And that does not mean that you are in agreement with what's going on. It means that you have a wisdom to understand that what's happening out there, all that chaos, all that stuff is happening out there, and you're going to control what's happening in here, in you. When you do that, your whole body softens. Your mind opens in new ways. Your soul is able to connect with you in new ways because you're able to create in different ways. You're able to hear the creations. When we resist, we're just spending all of our energy resisting. We're not moving into the new creations. And these distractions that are being done in the world right now are done so that we don't move into our creative self, so that we don't have enough energy to come up with the solutions. You have to have the wisdom to be able to align your energy to move through and around that chaos. If you get stuck in the chaos, back and forth, back and forth, back and forth, now you're just ping ponging again, back and forth, and you're going to exhaust your energy. But if you're wanting to come up with creative solutions for yourself, for the world, for whatever situation you're dealing with, you have to have the energy to do that. You have to have the broader energetic view to do that. And in order to have the energy to be able to move into that alignment, you want to allow yourself to let go of the chaos so that you can be in that space of oneness, of peace, of emptiness, to allow the creation to come from the chaos. That's really, really important, because if you just get stuck in the chaos, you'll never move into the emptiness, the oneness, and the creation that can manifest out of that. So when you're experiencing all of this stuff going on and you're feeling all of this stuff within you, pause and move that outside of you and move into your heart. Move your body, take a walk, do something creative. Get back into the sense of who you are, but really feel who you are. Really feel how you feel. Allow yourself to be. When you allow yourself to be, you allow your body to relax, you stop resisting, that chaos reorganizes itself within you and around you in your life, and you're able to move into something new. When we do this as a group, in large groups, when we stop being in the chaos, being distracted, we're able to move into ourselves, we're able to come up with new ideas and then proceed forward. It's a very different way of moving through life energetically. We want to move out of resistance and into alignment where we are all powerful and all creative. This is also another form of energetic protection when you're able to let go of resistance and move into your own alignment, to feel how you feel and to be with who you are and to be with your emotions and to allow your energy to re-engage, to rebuild, to not be drained by all of the chaos and the resistance and the anger and the emotions that are being constantly poured out and the judgments and the focus. And I mean, it just pulls and pulls your energy. Energetic protection is being able to take care of your energy. It's being able to keep your energy strong so that you have the resilience which creates energetic protection. Energetic protection is emotional, it's mental, it's physical, it's spiritual, and it comes from deep within inside of ourselves. So understand that all of this, how to release energy, how to balance your energy, how to move into neutrality, that's all a form of keeping your energy fortified, which in another way of saying is your greatest energetic protection. So mental balance, physical balance, emotional balance, that's how we move out of the chaos and into healing. Healing allows us to create new things. Creating new things takes us into a new evolution. So how can we go within ourselves, into the oneness of ourself, understanding that new things are being created all the time, finding that quiet for yourself, and allowing from the chaos the energy to come out in new creation? That's what I would love to know and hear from you. How do you feel about the new creative energy that you have within you? How does that make you feel? What do you want to do with it? I honor each of you and I thank you so much for joining me on this path. I wish you love, peace, and great new creations. I'll see you in the next episode.